Thank you for joining us wherever you are. This podcast episode is brought to you by the Old Ways Actual Play team. This actual play uses the RuneQuest rules by Chaosium Incorporated. This actual play is performed by adults and in an adult setting. Strong language, mature scenes, and rune magics are on the way. As this is our Glorantha, we will remind listeners that it may vary from the one you already know and love. And now, on to the show. Thank you for joining us again on another episode of the Always Podcast. I am your storyteller this evening, Michael Diamond. My pronouns are he, him, and we are back with RuneQuest, our adventures in Dragon Pass. We want to thank you for listening. We want to send a special thank you to our Patreon supporters who helped jumpstart this second season by giving me a whole bunch of ammo to use against our players, and I can't wait for them to find out when I use it. So we are going to get to introductions straight away. To my right.
Hi, everybody. This is Heather. My pronouns are she, her, and I am playing Lysana of Heraborn, who, well, felt a little bit at home at Joe's, but could really, really use one of those wonderful, luxurious baths before we move on.
Yeah, the baths are supposed to be quite good, and we'll see what happens. Next to Lysana.
This is Jake, and I'll be playing Varghast of the Road, apparently, now. And it's time to move on, you know. We've been in Jonstown. It's time to move on through the world. You got things, you got places to go, you got things to do. Okay. Next to Varghast.
Hi, this is James, and I'll be playing Finn the Fantastic, traveler and owner of the Stripedest Pants. And I am really looking forward to getting out on the road. It should be just easy peasy.
Yeah, no, I'm sure nothing terrible at all will happen. Next to Finn.
This is Morgan, and I play Alara. Our pronouns are she, her, and we are cultists for Marangor. And I say that we, because we totally are. Not just her, but me. And I recently learned that there might be some quake beasts in the area. So here's to hoping I can sightsee on our way out to our next place.
You want to run and catch a lizard?
A big one.
Catch a big lizard. I like that idea. And last but most certainly not least.
Hi, this is Rena. My pronouns are they, them. I play Faisal, any and all pronouns, initiate of Humocht and of Heller. And I got to pay a little visit home before we leave.
Indeed you did. And you got a chance to meet and discuss some things with your mother. And I'm not sure she's clearly worried about you. That's what it is. But no matter. You live a life of adventure, and adventure comes with some cost. Speaking of cost, the cost of becoming a long-term friend of Joe's is completing a trade run. And in doing so, it means you need to leave Jonstown. I just want to make sure before we go, as we are picking up basically in the same day, maybe an hour or two later, before the caravan goes, I want to make sure that Finn has an opportunity to potentially seek out new places, not new life, but new places, and boldly go where no Heraborn has gone before. You are seeking out a temple to Urmal.
Yes, I would like to see if there is a temple or even just a small shrine built behind someone else's temple to Urmal.
Yeah, so as we've sort of discussed a little bit on the show, and of course a little bit in back and forth between you and I, James, Urmal doesn't keep a whole lot of temples. And that's because he doesn't like to be tied down to really any one spot. What you do find is a shrine to Urmal the Thief. And it isn't necessarily in the place that you were expecting it, but that is sort of what makes it perfect in that way. So it is not too terribly far from where you originally had come in at. It's actually on a small little hill rise that is above the trade spaces. It gives quite a good vantage point of really all the market space. You climb up there and you find a statuesque figure standing on what looks like a wooden box. And next to this wooden box, there is what looks like a hangman's noose. There's an entire wooden scaffold system and a noose. And the noose is securely around this hooded figure's neck. And it doesn't look like a statue. It looks like a person. Clearly a person, a live person. At least you think so. And the figure's hands are tied behind its back. And its eyes are cast down at the market. But as you get closer, you see the lids sort of flicker and the eyes rise in sort of a Kubrickian stare at you.
Meet the gaze.
Good day, friend.
Good day. Prestigious morning to you.
And to you. It brings another set of arms and hands forward. You see that one set of hands are still clearly bound behind its back. It brings another set of arms forward and hands. What can I do you for?
Finn probably still chewing on a crust of bread from breakfast and such. What are you doing up here? Turns and looks down at the marketplace.
Oh, I am casually preparing to redistribute wealth as necessary.
Oh. Well, equilibrium is good.
It's got to flow.
Harmony. Too many snarls in the river.
Yes. Gestures over towards the hill on the other side of town, where all the big buildings are. They bring an awful lot of coin in with them. The Reds do.
I have noticed they do seem to throw coin around like feed before chickens.
Well, they're buying everyone's trust, which is something that works for people who don't pay attention. But to me, it's just, it's kind of childish. It's simple.
Agreed. You have a better vantage point than I do here, but do they seem just classless to you? No. And Finn makes a gesture as if he's trying to pluck the word out of the air.
Well, now there are a few of them, right, that do have some panache. The Razoress, her followers are just unbelievably deadly and interesting. But the common everyday lunar soldier that comes by is boring.
Yeah, and you'll forgive me if boring is not the word I would use.
No, pick whatever word you choose, of course. Of course. Are you here to donate, of course?
Oh, yeah.
To the cause.
And he throws a couple, what are they, owl?
Yeah.
Yeah, throws a couple owl into the bowl.
Oh, here, for your trouble. He slips you a case, like a wooden case, probably no bigger than, say, 6 or so inches long. It's about 2 inches deep, and then about maybe another 4 inches wide. Just in case you come across something that's a little difficult.
Well, greatly appreciate it. Your vantage point up here is enviable. I can see why you take it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's just about that time.
Finn stands up. Well, I don't want to keep you. And he drops one more coin into the bowl and meets his gaze one more time. And you tell the big guy I say hello.
Sure. I'll talk to him tomorrow.
Oh, good. And with that, Finn laughs and leaves off.
You head back towards the caravan. It looks like the The caravan has turned around and is prepared to head back out towards the next stop.
Just in time.
Finn comes trotting up.
Mm-hmm. So, Famous Bell is roughly about 5 miles, just so you're aware. The next city beyond that would be Redbird. And then just beyond that, at about 19 miles, is a place called The Squeeze. But really what you're trying to get to, it seems, is Apple Lane. At least that's what the people here keep talking about. You hear the one of the caravan drivers say, "I can't wait to get back to the lane. Best food and drink."
Never even been there, and I miss it.
Well, if we can make good time, then we should see it not too long from now. Another one of the caravan drivers comes over and says, "I heard something about maybe trolls on the river. You all keep an eye out."
Trolls?
Is Abilene the end destination? Or just a favored destination?
No, lady, Runegate is the end destination.
From the sounds of it, it sounds like Abilene would be a favored destination on the trip.
Just a tiny little hamlet. It's sleepy. The caravan leader comes over. Men like it here because there are shrines to Asari's in the area there, and the people are peaceful enough, and mostly nothing happens. Except drink and song and whatever else they can find time to do.
After everything, that sounds ideal.
It's basically on the border between the Kulamar and Milani tribes. It's a little hamlet that separates the two.
Bring on a moment's peace and hopefully a bath.
Well, if you wanted a bath, you should have had one here.
I tried, but unfortunately time and needs got away from us.
Understood.
But maybe on the way back.
Perhaps.
Did I hear we have trolls?
Oh, yes. It's possible. As we get further and further out from Jonstown, they'll be more active. They're active more in the areas which are sparsely populated. The squeeze is something we're going to need to be careful of, too. The trade road here runs through the Thunder Hills by way of the narrow and winding and rocky ravine. It's a common place to be ambushed.
When we lived in the Vale, I don't think we had much interaction with trolls. At least I didn't.
The only troll that you've ever encountered, or not even troll, but even close to it, would be the ogre.
Mm-hmm.
Are trolls anything like ogres, by chance?
That depends on who you ask. One of the caravan riders chuckles.
Well, the last ogre encountered was more than a thorn in the side, and I'd rather, if that is what we are to face, would rather know ahead of time.
I would say that when we get to the squeeze, be prepared. It is the most common place where we would find those situations. And it might not be trolls or something dark like that. It could be, he sort of lets out a long breath and says, it could be our own countrymen.
Oh, good. Some robbers and raiders
Well,
or bandits.
I do not hold it against them. Everyone must eat, but when they go off into the foothills and they become bandits, then they become dangerous.
I agree. I pull out my newly purchased barbed arrows and put them in my quiver.
Yeah, all of you would probably notice the difference in the arrows. We'll make Famous Bell within the next couple of hours. Won't take us long at all. Just keep your eyes open.
Trolls and raiders and bandits, oh my. We knew this was not going to be uneventful.
And the caravan sets out.
Somehow facing those three seems almost preferable to facing the Lunars yet again.
Oh no. No. I would totally face the Lunars again.
At least with raiders and bandits. Raiders, if it's for greed, that's one thing. But when it is desperate people just trying to survive, at least it's understandable. There's a difference. The earth provides as much as she does, but there are times even when the earth cannot or is unable to provide what is absolutely needed for every man. At least they have cause. More cause than the Lunars by far.
The road out of Jonstown is relatively quiet, except for the churn of the wagons, the horses, and even some of the locals who wave. Many of the children who aren't working under the careful tutelage of their parents wave at you as you go. And the road meets you again. The best part of this for all of you is getting to see many of the expansive farmland that's here. It stretches down as far as the eye can see until you see the river eventually. And before the cresting of the sun overhead, you see a tiny little hamlet coming up. It's a village, probably no more than 100 or so people, if that. But you see a watchtower, and in that watchtower you see an enormous brass bell. It doesn't look like the caravan's planning on stopping. They're just sort of going around the village or through it. Within the space here, you see that there is a minor temple to Orlanth Thunderous, something that you're certainly familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly familiar with Varghast. You also see that there aren't any obvious lunar soldiers here. There's no... the door to the temple is open. And right next to Orlanth Thunderous, there is a temple to Ronaldo. And there is also a shrine to Barntar here. Which makes a lot of sense because they do an awful lot of, stuff that would key in to Bartar's chosen abilities. The people wave. They acknowledge you. Some people along the way do come up to the wagons and do spot trading right there. The wagons aren't stopping, but they're continuing to trade as they go. And it could be something as simple as spices or something more complex as fabrics, etc. But the caravan drivers and their accompaniment are happy to keep trade going. And they do so as you move throughout. The people thank and bless you as you go.
Exchange blessings and well wishes and just try to absorb some of the normalcy as we pass through, just even if it's momentary.
It is momentary, but I think the thing that is key for you, Lysana, is what you're seeing is the continuation of Ronaldo's people. Yes, these people are living under occupation. There is a lunar governor general who's in charge of Dragon Pass. There's all sorts of things that they could be wallowing in pity and sadness over. But they're not. They're living their lives out. They're continuing to tend the land. They're continuing to keep and praise Ronalda in her temples. And they're continuing to do all the things that keep life moving. And there is some bit of that which is energizing.
I think she'll especially with the kids who will probably chase the wagons and run around and laugh and chase and everything. Just try to... She'll see that. That will be as a salve upon the pain that, that she carries.
Mm-hmm.
She'll probably break into smiles, and if there are flowers nearby, and sharing with some of the flowers and blessings to the children.
Okay. I would like the group to give me, we'll say, a listen roll as you're moving around, and report in order if you would.
Let's see if they cooperate. Oh, yes, they do. That is a 3 under 25.
Good.
That is fantastic.
So a 3 under a 25 is a special.
16 under 40.
Okay, success.
It's actually 76 over 42.
Okay, you are playing with Gil, your puppet.
Oh, yeah.
13 under 50.
Okay, success.
52 over 35. Nope.
52 over 30. So what I'm going to do for you, Faisal, is I'm going to play a Hand of Fate. This Hand of Fate was played for Faisal rather than against them. And so I will turn that into a special as well. And you notice something coming up. And that is, as you approach the... So, to give you a little bit of narrative backdrop, on the right-hand side of the caravan, the entire time you've been going down here, there has been field after field of farmed land, right? So imagine the different colored fields of different agricultural as a backdrop, and then right beyond that there is this river that flows through the space, right? So there's a river right beyond that. That river is beginning to hook towards the left, basically to cross the face of the caravan. And so those of you with a special see is that not only is there a bridge coming up before another village, but that bridge is guarded. And the bridge guards, those of you with a special, can tell that that is certainly not Sardarite clothing that they're wearing. And so it seems there might be lunar troops on this trade route. Those of you who have successes see that there's a bridge coming up and that there are men or people who are guarding it.
And that's on the way to Redbird, right?
It is.
Okay.
Yes. Redbird, it looks like, is run right on the other side of this bridge. So those of you who have had specials and succeeded, you can go ahead and do whatever it is you're going to do with the knowledge you have.
Faisal, do you see?
Yes, I see.
Those aren't locals.
No, they're not. And I'm going to start passing that message to the drivers of the wagons that we've got lunars up ahead.
Okay. Yeah, the caravan riders around you react to that.
I will pass that info on to our group, then starting with Varghast.
Pretty much everybody pays attention except Finn.
Yeah, he's entertaining the people on the sides of the wagon with Gil the Loony.
Varghast.
Yeah.
Those aren't local.
Are they lunars?
More than likely.
All right.
And if they're here, we probably ought to be extra careful. We did let that guy go. I told you not to, but we're going to see how that plays out. But yeah. Faisal's telling the others. Alara, you may have your wish. Not the dinosaur. A fight.
Yeah, I climb on the back of one of the caravan wagons.
Yep.
And I keep an eye out.
Okay. You begin to keep an eye out. So at this point, your caravan drivers are a little, I think freaked out is the wrong word, but I would say that they are concerned. And they get even more concerned when a couple more of these lunar guards come out and now stand 4 across, which is going to prevent any sort of traffic movement by the caravans.
Oh, good.
This is what you're hoping for, of course.
Right, yes.
If there's 4, there's probably more.
Well, move up to the front because I was moving up and telling people about the Lunars coming up anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Just greetings.
The one of the Lunar guards puts a hand up and says, "Slow it down here. We need to take a look at the wagons before they pass through. City of Redbird is under watch."
Under watch? What for?
The guard nods at you. "Rebellious and unlawful activities."
None of that around here. Silently adding at the moment in my own brain.
All right. Open up each one of these wagons. Let's have a look and see what's inside of them. The caravan lead is a little bit flustered, and he says, not a problem, not a problem. We've nothing but trade goods here. We've nothing but trade goods here."
How many Lunars are there?
Right now, you see that there are 4 on this side of the bridge.
Okay.
They do have what looks like a small encampment, like right physically outside the city of Redbird, and it looks like there might be a handful more of them out there. You're fairly close to the caravan leader, Varghast.
Mm-hmm.
So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you to make... I like the idea of insight. And you are, of course, allowed, if you would like, to modify this by any sort of rune inspiration that you might choose to take. I will say that someone is trying to tell you something. So insight species goes you to value another person's character, emotional state, trustworthy. Yeah, perfect. Body language, speech patterns. Okay, so yeah. Yep, that's the skill.
Can I use a power rune?
I don't see why not.
Okay, can I use the man rune since he's a
man?
I'm trying to get his body language and.
I don't see why not. You could be. I think you should be able to be inspired by any rune. So,
okay.
Any rune you have, anyway.
Okay, that's 19 under 50.
Okay, so it's a standard success. That's plus 20 to your man rune. You are now even more man than you were.
Hey, that's another 19 under 45.
So you don't think that the caravan leader is being entirely truthful about the things that he's carrying. You get the intense sort of feeling in the back of your brain that maybe it's not all just trade goods here. Do with that what you will.
Okay. I'll catch Faisal's eye.
Lift an eyebrow.
And I kind of give the kind of a nod and towards the wagon.
Oh boy.
So that's an insight roll.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's see. That is a 3 under 45.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, oops. Uh-oh.
Oops. What? Why would you tell the person who can't lie about this? Oh my god.
I don't know, but I instantly love this for you.
This is bad. Why?
The Lunar soldiers are going to begin searching the wagons. 2 of them. So I'll make a couple of search rolls for them. And what I'll just ask from my adventurers here is, let me know if any of you are going to do anything which might impair or harm or interdict their process. If you're going to get involved, either subtly or directly, in any way, shape, or form, then let me know before I roll, and we can determine what penalties might have or what reaction it might have. Yes, Finn, I can see you jumping out of your chair.
Natural born distraction.
Yeah, I would like to use the illusionary substance.
Okay.
In one of the wagons that they're about to search. And the first thing that Finn thinks of is jellied eels, because he can't get the name of that inn out of his head, and it's been there all day. So he's willing to, he's going to spend 2 rune points worth of power to double the amount of looking like jellied eels in the back of this wagon. Ideally, the wagon where the wagon caravan dude doesn't seem to want them to look.
Right. You bet. So it's rune magic.
You know what? I will actually spend 3 points to make it a visual and substance illusion.
Okay, so you're just going to have the...
All 3 points, yeah. Boom.
You're going to have the wagon, explode with jellied eels?
When they open it, it's going to be just like the most disgusting mess of jellied eels that you can imagine. Just chunks and eel goo and jellified grossness.
Yeah, okay. I like that. So illusionary sight, illusionary sound. Are you also doing illusionary odor?
You know what? Sure.
Okay. So essentially, these are illusion spells. And what they're going to do is create a visual illusion. It's going to be a size 3 creature because you're putting only 1 point into the size. But that also means that you're going to create something that has a sound. So you're going to get all sorts of like these
disgusting.
Icky, I want you, the listener, to think about a big vat of macaroni and cheese and someone stirring it with this ladle back and forth, And then the odor, the illusionary odor, most certainly enough, replace a single scent from the caster's memory. Oh, God. So, Finn, what odor will this have?
Well, there was one time in the summer when Finn accidentally left his catch bag out on the banks overnight. And by the time he had gotten back in the summer sun, when he opened it, when he regained consciousness, he remembers it being an eye-watering experience.
Okay. So it will have that effect too. You're not spending 4 or more points on the odor, so there's no con times 2 roll.
No.
but that is possible.
That would be amazing.
Okay. So you get this funny idea in your head about jellied eels. And the first lunar soldier who checks the first caravan doesn't see anything. Doesn't seem to notice them. The second one, however, rolled a 2. And you hear this man shriek and sort of like step back, and you hear this strange sort of like sickly slapping and undulating sound. It's like take a bowl of grape jelly and sort of stick your hand into it and press it through your fingers. Yeah, it's quite something. And he steps back out of shock. And the other soldiers begin to react to it. What in the world what's going on here? You see a couple more of the soldiers come forward from the bridge. There appears to be a hubbub.
Well, I'm going to go and see what the hubbub's about.
Okay. You see aforementioned jellied eels. They're sort of like writhing in the back of this thing.
Well, that's disgusting.
Who would transport such filth? What smells like? It smells like mung and ballsack.
While everyone is gaping and retching from this wagon of jellied horror, I try to catch the eye of the caravan leader and give him that look.
He puts his hand up to over his chest, and you see him put up 4 fingers, and he sort of nods towards deeper into the caravan. So they're going to continue their search after being momentarily paused. Finn, you'll be able to make your way further down if you want to look at said 4.
Indeed, I do.
Okay. Anybody else attempting to distract them, dissuade them?
I think I'll start up a conversation with them.
Banter?
Yeah.
Okay.
More of a, just try to keep them distracted by talking about, I'm guessing, weapons and armor. They're soldiers, yeah.
Yeah. You try quite hard to get them to engage with you on simple martial things, and it's hard to get them to talk. They're very dutiful as far as what they're doing, as far as what their goals are. You also realize that you're talking to like not just soldiers but professional soldiers. And so professional soldiers are a little bit different than like your average town guard or mercenary. Like they're in a position where they have to do a job, and worse yet, they are being, quote, watched over by an emperor who supposedly sees everything that they do. They do engage with you a little bit, and they check over Wagon 3 and Wagon 4 and then move on. Finn, when you get to Wagon 4, you get there in time to see some of the caravan, like one of the caravan drivers and the assistant, who are basically like covering things with blankets and like ensuring that stuff isn't going to jostle or move.
I hurriedly help them.
Yeah. You basically see what some of the things that they are transporting. It isn't what you would expect, really. It's actually money. Quite a bit of it.
Finn smiles about having to suddenly aid in the removal and redistribution of wealth.
Yes.
How many wagons are in the caravan again?
7.
Okay, so we got a couple more. Can I use Shake Earth, but can I target it at the lunar encampment?
I mean, you could. So
They're
the
not
rune
gonna-
spell, Shake Earth?
They're not going to know it's me. Look at Faisal's like, oh no! How are they going to know it's me?
I'm going to say yes, and I love the idea of a touch tap existence here. If bless your heart, if that's what you want to do, then
I want to
you
distract him from
absolutely-
looking at the caravan anymore. We could
Oh.
just pass on through.
Nothing
I
is
want you
more
to.
distracting than the rum shaker.
I really want you to.
Personally, I would just rather kill him. But here we are.
I would rather you kill them too, but again,
But there's a whole encampment on the other side of the river.
It's been officially decided.
That's not
Alara's
huge.
full name is now Alara the Subtle.
So yeah, let me know if that's something that you want to do, and we can talk about the.
Yeah, it talks about the magic points. It's ranged, temporal, stackable.
Yep.
It affects an area of land geometrically proportional to the number of magic points expended. 1 magic point covers 1 square meter. 2 magic points covers 4 square meters. Yeah, I mean, honestly, we can make it be small enough to... Well, I want them to be able to feel it.
How many magic points you got, Alara?
A lot-ish.
Let me ask you something else.
Mm-hmm.
How long has it been really since Marangor's energy has been felt by the Lunar Army?
That's true. And she doesn't like them searching their stuff. Like, go away. So really, it does play to her. It plays to her hatred of the Lunars to want to disrupt them. It's
What's your hatred of the Lunars?
my hate of the Lunar Empire is 70%.
Oh, that's pretty strong.
That is. I should use my passion, but if I'm doing magic.
Yeah, it's certainly something. I could see Shake Earth as certainly something that you might decide
Because I want to distract
as a
them.
distraction.
Mm-hmm. So I'd like to use. I have 13 magic points. I would only like to use. Let's see, 4 square meters. What is that? Like 20 feet or something.
4 square meters to feet is 43 square feet.
Done. All right, so let's do 2 magic points.
Okay.
And, hang on, I
So
gotta.
2 magic points.
Yes.
Every within the area has a 5% per point of Shake Earth subtracted from all agility and manipulation skills and dex rolls. Each round, anyone standing up must succeed in a dex times 5 roll or fall. This roll is modified by the above penalty.
I really just want to distract them. That's what I'm not looking to start a fight, and I don't want them to know that it was us. So it's just a random earthquake and a
completely localized area only around the lunar tent. Yeah, no, I love it for you. So you tell me about how you get this earth to shake. What is it that you do? How do you make this happen? Right. So it's ranged, which means you have to see where you want to, what you want to shake up, where you want to, call Marangor into. To call deep into the earth and talk to the sister of Ronalda and have her spike the earth with her fury. Like, what's the feeling from Alara when she uses this?
Well, she probably starts to get really hot, like sweating, and her tattoos on her legs will probably start to glow some. So around, just out of curiosity, around the bridge there to cross over to Redbird. It's Redbird. Mm-hmm. Is there any woods or anything, or is it just open plains?
No, it's pretty open.
Yeah.
I mean, you're basically going into a section where it's going to begin getting a little hilly, and the mountainous portion of the terrain is going to begin picking up.
Yeah, so I'll probably be on top of one of the wagons still. I'll have my fist at my side. My eyes will be closed. I'll be whispering sweet nothings to Marangor about helping me target this. And I will, my tattoos, like I said, will be glowing. I'll be sweating probably profusely because it's hot. And, so my chest and everything will be glistening, glowing, as they say. And I'll be whispering my sweet nothings to Marangor, and yeah, that's what I'll be doing. And I'll be focusing right on the lunar encampment.
Okay, so here's what I'd like you to do, because I think it would be fun. I would like you to make for me a con roll. So con times 5. And the reason I'm going to have you make this roll is you had said during your narration there that you're essentially trying to do so quietly. I do not believe that is within your nature at this point. You are essentially a volcano waiting to explode. And you're finally going to let it loose. You're going to finally let that whole volcanic, fiery fury of Marangor off the chain. And I think you got to be pretty well control of yourself before, without making a sound.
So my con is 80 then. So I'll roll. Got a 74 under 80.
Okay. Yeah, so you keep most of it under wraps. There's a lot of growling, and you realize it's not just you, it's our cat, who is in tune with some of the things that you feel. And the cat's hackles are up, and that is a big cat to be that enraged. And as the Lunars get closer, all of you suddenly begin to feel the ground, the reverberations in the ground. I don't know who is by Alara, but it seemed that she was sort of by herself. But I do like the idea that she is trying to pass off the idea that she's sweating and that parts of her body are glowing. So there's a couple things happen at the same time, right? Beyond the area of the caravan, beyond the bridge, you watch as a couple, say 3 lunar soldiers, fight to keep their balance. So this requires them to make rolls, and because of the magic points that have been spent, they are going to be at a penalty. And it's terrible. Okay, I'm actually gonna, yeah. Okay, let me do something.
Terrible for us or for them?
Well, I mean, one might beget the other.
That is true.
So, one of the lunar soldiers has an issue. So he has rolled a 100 on his dexterity roll. So that is a critical failure. And what I, as your storyteller, I'm going to do is use it to roll on the fumble table, which is epic because fumbles are great. even though we're not technically in combat, I think it would be fun for listeners. And so what this poor gentleman would do, let's see, that's 90. Well, that's pretty high. Okay, so you watch, Alara, as the ground underneath their large, red tinted tent becomes completely unstable, and the tent begins to fold in on itself. When it does, it completely envelops one man near the front of the tent, and he falls over basically because a bunch of fabric fell on his head. Another one of them sort of spins out of the way. And then the third man, who has been doing some basic and simple martial practice, he reacts in the wrong moment at the wrong time. And when he steps forward, he loses his footing. And when he does, this beautiful curved blade turns inward. And he essentially gouges himself like in the stomach with it, and then falls on the sword. So I rolled a 98 on the fumble table, which is a critical to self. And so he is gasping in pain and crying out amongst the earthy rumbles that you're all experiencing. The horses get spooked. And so I would love all of our characters, if they would like, to potentially try to get a hold of some of these animals, and before the animals maybe make a break for it.
Yes, please.
Except you, Alara, you're a little busy being sweaty and angry.
What role is that?
That is a wonderful question. I like that role as I would take herd. I would take, I suppose, ride. Yeah. If you're going to actually get on the horse, I'd take ride. Yep. Or I might also take, someone just getting inventive and being creative with it.
Can I punch one into submission?
The horse?
Yeah.
Conan the horse.
You could, but I would just caution you that horses have a lot of hit points.
Yeah. Well.
I made a herd roll and I failed it very badly. Not fumble badly, but still badly.
Yeah, just shy of a fumble. So
Just shy of a
I
fumble,
got
she says.
21 under 23 for my ride.
Okay. So I will allow your ride to handle, we'll say, caravan 4, the one you were next to.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to play a hand of fate for you, Lysan. I'm going to turn that into a success to get a hold of one of these horses. You essentially call out to Arnalda to bring the animals some sort of peace, and it seems to function and work.
let them feel the earth beneath them not tremble but be solid. Allow them to feel that they are safe.
Yep.
If they to come to me.
The lead animal, which is the one you're probably next to, Jake, is going to move forward at a rapid pace.
Oh, no. Actually, I'm going to try to ride.
Okay. Give me a ride roll.
24 under 25.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So that is super close. Super close. You leap onto the horse. And when you leap onto the horse and the caravan goes forward, many of the other caravan horses try to follow. And Faisal, if you didn't know it any better, you'd say it sure looked like this is a jailbreak. So I'd love to know what you're doing.
Well, being a city person and not really being much of a rider, I was ineffectively trying to block off one of the horses from running away and just had to jump out of the way because it was not working. And the horse just went rushing past me.
It rushes past you. The Lunars who are behind get left in the dust. And you are now leading the charge. You pass the earth that has cracked open near this tent. You see a lunar guard having been essentially just not disemboweled, but he's been skewered by his own weapon, and he is twitching on the ground, bleeding all over the place. The horses continue past,
Well, I guess I just lead them.
You feel a surge in you that is rebellious and just full of an amazing amount of energy. Like, it feels good to do what you're doing. At least for the moment.
Right. Until the consequences of our actions come back to haunt us.
I mean, that's all part of the fun, isn't it? Okay. So, Faisal, if you want to get back on one of these caravans, you're going to have to give me a dex roll to get back on. Because all the rest of the crew at this point is still on the caravan, and having, the position you had to try to get a hold of one of the horses and failing, then we've got to get you back in a good position.
Was that Dex times 5?
Yeah, it's dex times 5.
Okay, that'll be under 80 then. Okay. That's a 12 under 80.
12's pretty good. 12's pretty good. Okay. You reach out and you help hoist Faisal into one of the caravans. And all 7 of these caravans are hustling now down this dirt road, this trade road that leads next into the squeeze. And behind you, the entire way, Lunar soldiers are shouting. And their shouts become dimmer and dimmer. And you realize that they're having to sort of bow to the reality of the situation, which is they don't have control over that bridge anymore. And it kind of feels good, Vargas.
Mm-hmm.
Finn looks over at Faisal from the seat. My prayers were answered. Finally, something fun. Whoosh.
I try to slow us up at some point, because running at full tilt with wagons is probably not the best idea.
I mean, probably not. Probably not, yes. You are able, after a while, to get control of the lead horse. It does take a little time. Eventually, the horse tires a little bit. The convoy itself is jostled out of position, terribly so. But you probably within the next mile or two are able to run them out of some of the more immediate energy. And with Redbird now behind you, you know that in another 4 or 5 miles, what you're going to run into is the squeeze. It's probably about an hour before dinner or so. So you hear the head of the caravan say, "We have a choice. Either we camp before and we go in through first light, or we keep this pace now and try to push our way all the way through until the other side."
Well, you're the caravan master. What do you suggest?
Personally, I'm for pushing all the way through.
Then, you know what? I'll take your advice.
Apple Lane is just on the other side of it. The squeeze isn't any more than a mile.
How close is it to dark? You said it was close to dinner, but does that mean it's getting close to being dark?
Well, it's sea season, so it's sort of that early, we would equate with early spring. So it's going to be real close, Faisal.
Mm-hmm.
Any sort of interruption in the squeeze would probably portend you being in there at night.
I don't know that it's wise.
Staying on the outside of it isn't necessarily wise either. The bandits will be able to see our fires. There is some safety in Apple Lane.
Well, we'll go with your decision. We don't want to get caught in there in the dark.
No, of course not. Just to be prepared and perhaps perhaps we'll make it through and have a nice bit of wine when we get to Apple Lane. There's a good inn there. We can relax. So, Finn, at the end of this, you sort of get a good idea of what they're doing. This 4th caravan that you were a part of, there must be maybe hundreds of elves here, all for the express purpose of doing what you have no idea. But you can surmise that perhaps they're paying off mercenaries, perhaps they're buying equipment. But whatever it is, it's certainly not under the law, which suits you just fine.
Yep. When we finally do stop and I step down from the buckboard of the wagon and greet the caravan master. So your cargo, that's a lot of raises an eyebrow, jellied eels in there.
Yes, I don't even remember taking on the eels.
Yeah, one wonders what someone would do, and he passed the caravan, the fourth caravan. One wonders what someone would do with that many jars of eels.
Well, you'd make sure that the fight in Whitewall was still going to go on.
I like that. That's good.
And so the caravan heads in as the squeeze arrives. Hills and mountains rise to greet you, and they go up and up and up. You've been in hilly places, mountainous places. You grew up in one. This is different. This is a pass, and there really isn't space to turn these wagons around. It is super tight, and you have to slow down because the trail weaves back and forth through the mountains, and there are blind spots, and so you can't always see what's coming up. And I think that's where we'll leave this episode, as the squeeze is put on our players. So thank all of you for coming out. Appreciate all my players for playing along. Appreciate the listeners and the Patreon supporters. And we look forward to seeing all of you back next time when we see what juice we get from this squeeze. Thank you and good night.